Okay. So one more thing that I don't understand when it comes to all this spiritual moon, sun signs, meditating type stuff, Mercury retrograde.
Yes.
What I love blaming it because Twitter be like, it's Mercury retrograde. I'm like, I'm in a bad mood. Boom. Mercury retrograde. I don't know what it means. I just blame it because it seems cool on Twitter to do so. And I have somebody to blame. But what does it mean? Where does it come from?
Okay, so the word retrograde. So, we have the planets, Mercury, Mars, Venus, Earth, all that stuff. So each planet has a retrograde period. Mercury is the planet of communication, news, travel. Mercury rules the zodiac sign Virgo and Gemini. So that's why Virgos and Geminis, they tend to be great communicators, very articulate, right? So Mercury, the planet of news, travel, communication, when it goes retrograde, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going backwards, which retrograde typically means. It means that the planet slows down. So it appears to go retrograde or move backwards, and everything is flipped. So if Mercury forward means, or Mercury direct means that news is traveling, there is clear communication, clear flow of traffic. When it's retrograde, you're going to see traffic jams. You're going to see miscommunications. You're going to see technology malfunctions, where your computer just dies out of nowhere, where you just hit unexpected traffic when you typically don't. Any type of technology functions, that's what typically happens in Mercury retrograde. So it's important to know when that's happening, because I'm not planning a trip during Mercury retrograde. I'm gonna make sure I double check all my emails during Mercury retrograde. I'm gonna make sure everything is charged and up to date in Mercury retrograde, because that's when the shit happens. But Mercury retrograde is a great time to do all the shit. Realign, reorganize, re-strategize, refresh, any type of when you go back, you're cleaning, you're detoxing, you're revising, you're revisiting, any type of things that requires you to go back and take a closer look. That's what Mercury retrograde is all about. So you may notice that typically, it was so funny because me and this person in my life,
it's a boy. It's
a male Taurus. Actually, it's a male Taurus.
Really?
Typically, we would have poor communication, but when Mercury retrograde would happen, that's when we had the best communication. And it's sad because it's like, damn it, we're only getting along because it's Mercury retrograde. And it was so funny. So I would be able to kind of time it like, okay, that's why you're not being as much of a dick, because it's Mercury retrograde. You literally can't help it.
I'm looking here now, and it seems like we know when Mercury retrograde, or Mercury is going retrograde. Like it showed here, 2020 was February 16th to March 9th. Then June 18th to July 12th.
Cancer season. It's always Mercury retrograde in Cancer season.
And then there's no more?
No, there should be one in October, November. There's usually 3 to 4.
October 13th to November 3rd.
Scorpio season.
Yes. So the pre-retrograde shadow begins September 23rd. Post-retrograde shadow ends November 19th. Oh, so there's shadows to it too.
Yeah. So when you consider Mercury retrograde, you want to consider the pre through the post. The retrograde period may be 2 weeks, but there's also about 2 weeks of pre-shadow and about 2 weeks of post-shadow. So you want to consider like that whole time frame.
What the fuck?
Oh. Yeah, but it's a great...
So you're trying to tell me that when there's Mercury retrograde, you don't go on vacation?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I would be more mindful to not schedule any traveling, because that's when like the flight is canceled, or you just happen to be overcharged because you missed the deadline, because you got the miscommunication. Oh, I thought it was the 3rd, but it's really the 1st that it was due. You know what I'm saying? So it's or you think you sent the text to somebody and they're like, oh, why didn't you text me back? I was like, oh shit, I never sent the text. That miscommunication is typical or more prevalent.
I'm in Mercury retrograde 365 days a year. I never text back.
Yeah, so it's just like anything regarding news, travel, communication, or technology, the opposite of fully functioning or working appropriately.
And it happens for everyone, not just certain signs.
Everyone, yeah.
Everybody,
and it's not going to be like, and it's not that in Mercury retrograde, your computer's going to die. You're going to get in traffic jam. That's not the case. It's just be more aware. It's more likely to happen because the energy, that's what the energy is. So.
I have felt certain times, I don't know if I won't say that I'll like be like, oh my God, I swear by it. But there's times that things are like, oh, this week has just been awful. And then I go on Twitter or on Instagram, they're like, it's Mercury retrograde. I'm like, boom, there had to be a reason because it's not me. I am
Yeah.
sharp. Or it might be. But then I'm like, I also ran out of Adderall that week. So was it Mercury retrograde or was it that I don't have any more Adderall?
Exactly. And that it's whatever you says it's gonna be, because some people want to blame it on Mercury retrograde and some people just take it for what it is, so you may not have any type of experiences of Mercury retrograde, and that's okay. And then you may feel like there's been plenty of times where if I have good communication with someone and then it's Mercury retrograde, all of a sudden they have an attitude or we just have a disagreement, I'm not going to take it personal because I know it's Mercury retrograde. And then after Mercury retrograde passes and then it's back, I'm not tripping like I used to. Like, oh my God, what did I do? I know it's Mercury retrograde, so I'm not going to take that shit personal because it's the energy. And that's another thing with being spiritual. You just kind of learn to not take shit personally because it's not you, it's the energy shifts. And this energy, just like it changes, is going to change back.
What was that October date? October 13th. Remember, I'm gonna be a bitch on purpose.
Oh Lord!
Leaving I'm married.
Oh Lord! That's not how this works.
Let me put an alarm on. I'm gonna be like, I want this and I want it now. And it's gonna be Mercury retrograde combined with pregnancy. Can't tell me nothing. Okay, just kidding. That's not the way it works. That's not the way it works. Sorry. Okay.